Peace, family. So we back with another one. Today what I wanted to do was I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about how most people are not thinking for themselves. They have not taken the time out to actually mean what they say what they mean, and walk a life of truth in their belief system. What kind of dove me into this subject today is we just had Easter pass. So with Easter passing, we had and have a lot of people out here celebrating a holy day, and they do not partake in any of the Christianity religious beliefs. We all gonna hear that generic statement, oh, well, I was raised in a church. Yeah, I'm sure we was. You know, most of us came from a woman's womb. That's to each his own, neither here nor there. You know what I mean? But I had someone reach out to me, and they just, hey, I don't know if you celebrate these holidays or not, but I just wanted to say Happy Easter. And in my mind, I was just processing, like, how could they fix their vibration to send me something of that nature when I've shown them, told them in every kind of communicational form that you can possibly fathom that I do not follow any religions. I don't follow no religions. I would love to bring all religions together because we all fighting the same battle. We're allies on the same team. Everyone just have a different position. You can, if you follow any sports, whatever sports you play, you can insert and press play. But like the way I view having all these different religions, and then us being in the United States where it's a mixed culture, you can have Islam, playing for, let's just say, the red team. The Islam represents the center position on the basketball court, the big man. Then you can have Christianity, which represents the point guard. They're still on the red team. The center position is different than the point guard position, but they're on the same team with the same goal in mind. It's so many people out here that practice a lot of these rituals, and they just do things robotically without putting any real thought into it, opposed from everyone else is doing it. It's kind of like if everybody just went to go jump off a bridge into their death, so they can move on to their next journey faster. Are you just going to follow them without any kind of reasoning or explanation behind it? That part is always mind-blowing to me. I know so many people that don't practice Christianity, but everybody is out celebrating Easter. Getting Easter baskets, Easter clothes, Easter egg hunt. Half of these people ain't been to a physical church in many years, and the other half hasn't been to any spiritual churches in many years. Meaning you don't have to go to the physical location to actually be in the church. Your body is the temple. So as long as you are practicing your religion within you on a daily basis, you don't have to show up to these physical locations. You still solid on whatever religion you believe in. But I don't understand how this is not a slap in the face to the Christians. Like, I always get so confused. Why are there not more people standing up for their religion? You got a bunch of demons running around representing your holiday, holy day, and it's just okay. Nobody says anything. There's no pushback. There's no anything. It's almost like anything is accepted over here. It doesn't matter what you do. You can go create the worst crimes possible, you know, but as long as you grew up in a Christian church, it makes everything okay. Like, as much as I don't follow religion, I don't believe that if there was a Yahshua or Jesus, that they sacrificed themselves for people to still walk in a demonic spirit, and then other people still not stand up and fight and sacrifice themselves for the cause. This is why it'd be hard for me to fully listen to my point guard or my shooting guard, even though we're on the same team. If we're talking about the game and the war, cool. I'm right there with you. Hey, pass the ball over here. We can pass it down here to them. We can get a bucket. Hey, you play defense here. You play defense there. Cool. We can discuss those things. That's all part of the game. It's part of the battle. But when it comes to standing solid on your own 2 feet, the more and more this battle goes on, and it is really no disrespect to all my people that do follow Christianity, but y'all allow so much buffoonery to go on and disrespect y'all religion. It is mind-blowing to me. Like, I gangbanged, and we didn't just let people running around disrespecting the gang. Like, we were here for a physical reason, to stand solid for something. This is just what we choose to stand for. Soon as somebody decided to be disrespectful, we're gonna check that shit right away. You can say the same thing about Islam. They check a lot of things that are not okay. Not everything, but they definitely check a lot more than what we just had going on. And outside of that, it's like Easter. What does Easter have to do with a bunny rabbit laying eggs? Bunnies don't even lay eggs. They have full bunnies. Bunnies give birth to full bunnies. We got YouTube, you got Google, you can look it up yourself. How can a lot of people say that they're fighting this battle and you aren't fighting the battle? Even if you don't physically fight, I didn't see one post up about, quote unquote, rebuking all the people that's practicing their religion that don't practice their religion. And it was just put me in a space of just like, it's so many people that just walk around blindly doing everything because they see other people do it. Do you not know how hard the Jew-ish people, you only call something with the ish at the end of it if it's only kinda, sorta. We never said that we're brown-ish. We're brown. I don't use the term black. I know black is a cultural statement. Is more so more of a political stance why they do white and black. White people are not fucking white. Black people are not black. We're brown. I don't know what color we call white people because I don't know. They're not really pink. I don't know. What I do know is they're not the color of my shirt, okay? That's one thing we all can agree on. Why are we not standing more solid against people who are taking bits and pieces of your belief system and what you stand for and stand on, and enforcing some kind of accountability or rules or laws in place? This is just using Easter as one because today is Monday. Easter just passed on Sunday. This video may drop in a couple days, may not even drop tomorrow because I got other things going on and other pieces of content that probably will be released before this one. But I had to do this because I was just so lost when the person had messaged me asking me these things. And it's like, yo, I got over 200 videos of me just giving straight knowledge. You never see me with any crosses on. You never see me speaking of any of these other religions the way I speak of source and creator and natural law. If the system shut down right now, or if you go into other parts of the world, I wouldn't say that all of these people are going to bad places because they don't follow Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, the Jewish culture. I wouldn't say all these people are going to bad places. If their avenue is connecting them to source and creator, I'm riding with them and warring with them. That's just how I always stood, and that's how I'm always going to stand. But it's hard to fight for people who are not willing to fight for themselves. And the more and more this goes on, salute to all my real Christians, that do stand solid, that do, hold it down in their environments, that do speak out and speak up against people that do things, who do take action against people who using their belief systems for their own benefits and not fully walking or practicing that way of life. But for the rest of these fake ass Christians out here, this is why the system can drag this process out so long, because it just allows all these weak ass people to just start following these religions. They have no enforcers. They have no accountability. It's just, hey, just throw your hands up in the air and wave them like you just don't care. Who is partying all day in the middle of a war? Who? Besides the people on the Titanic, who else is partying in the middle of a war? It's always mind-blowing to me. And then I have people come on my channel sometimes and talk about, oh, what do you believe in? What do you follow? Shut the fuck up. Because you allow all these demons to represent your religion. They represent you. You don't speak up. You don't say anything. You don't take any action about it. This is just for Easter that just passed. This is not even accounting for everyone who celebrates Christmas and says that, oh, well, it's for the kids. For one, kid is another word for baby goat, so they're already being sacrificial. So you should pick your words very carefully before using them. If you're calling your children kids or your little humans kids, you basically are saying they're sacrificial goats. Everyone knows that the goat was used as a sacrificial piece. Whether they was putting all the bad and low vibrations into it and sending it out into nature, so that way their tribe or their land could stay clear of all the demonic vibrations and frequencies. Or like basketball, they called Jordan the GOAT. He was sacrificial to the sport. He sacrificed a lot, and a lot of people died behind his shoes, behind his merch. He had from the people that did know him, that put his information out there, he had a very nasty attitude and vibration about him. But this would just brought me to this point of people are just walking around blindly, have no idea what's going on, what to do, what to say, where to take action, when not to take action. The system got y'all so damn shook that y'all are just standing here saying that, oh yeah, I stand with Jesus. You don't stand with Jesus. You do not stand your ass with Jesus. Simple process. If you stood with that man over there, you wouldn't be allowing all these other people to just practice your religion. You would be taking action, and prison and jail wouldn't be your biggest consequence. You would be more afraid of what the Creator would do to you. You would be more afraid of what the Creator would do to you, opposed from your ass being afraid of, oh, well, I could get in trouble. I could lose my job. I could lose my... Nobody gives a fuck about all of that. We don't own none of it anyways, and they can take it at the snap of a finger. Weak. And I get sick of people messaging me or asking me, or every time holidays come around, their holy days, and even if they don't practice no religions or no cultures, they're still celebrating a part of you. Mind blown. Anytime somebody was around me that was going against my belief system and I'm moving with the Creator, I'm going to stand on it. I'm not a just shut my mouth, shut the fuck up kind of person. And I also don't have a problem with violence, which is why I understand my peace so well. People think, oh no, well, as long as you avoid confrontation, you can be in a peaceful state. Fuck all of that. That's not a way of maintaining peace, because that person or that being, that entity, that deity can always make his way back to your vibration and disturb you again and use you like a doormat. People all around the world is laughing at Christians in the U.S. They are laughing. They are laughing. Everybody that watches this that say they are a Christian, you have to start taking action. Action. Oh, well, what they do over there don't bother me. What they do over there don't bother me. If I'm banging a certain color, and this happened when I was in the prison, if somebody's on another side of the yard, they're not on my side of the yard, I mean, they're not in these buildings that I'm in, they're in a different set of buildings. If they start doing some LGBTQ community shit, word is going to travel to us if the homies over there haven't taken care of it already. And then it's going to get taken care of, because now what they're doing falls back on us as a group. So then everybody could start saying, yeah, you know, it's a lot of LGBTQ community bloods, right? You could say that about some of the other gangs out here, you know, and a gang is really just a group of people. They put the bad connotation on it. Police is a gang, you know, the army, military, all of that's a gang. You know what I mean? All these different groups and corporations, that's a gang. But most people just don't even dive in deep enough to comprehend these things. They just use surface level information what somebody else regurgitated. It didn't get pushed back, so then they decided, hey, I could use this too, because they used it. There was no pushback. You guys that's in the United States have done a really bad job at standing beside and with a being who, quote unquote, sacrificed themselves for humanity or people. You think it sounds good to say, yo, Jesus sacrificed himself for me, and you ain't doing shit. All these demons out here representing your religion and your culture, and that's all the vibration you have to give to that. This war and this battle that we're fighting right now, the demons wouldn't even have as much pull as they have right now if it was more people standing and fighting for their religion, meaning their belief system. Y'all don't believe in these religions. Y'all believe in the system. Y'all don't believe in this religion. Y'all believe in the system. And it shows every single holy day, every single time it's somebody on a podcast, Godcast, you know, somebody that's preaching the word out on the streets, because that's what it used to be before podcasts. You used to just catch people preaching out on the streets. You know what I mean? And salute to those people, because you actually having real life engagements with people, and you can see where it's more fight and you know, more strength shown that they standing on their 2 feet and they backing up the vibration that they given with the actual word of the book. People think because they can recite the book that means something. That don't mean shit. Anybody can read a book. Why do you think so many people can become doctors, lawyers? You know, a real doctor is a natural healer, not somebody who just goes to school, figures out some paperwork, and that's that. We got people who never went to school and they know a much better way of healing the body than going to do all these other things through the systematic doctors that we have in place. One thing the systematic doctors is good for is, because they do study the body, is surgeries. I cannot take that away from them. They are extremely good with understanding the surgeries, how the body works, how to replace different limbs and body parts and all of these things. If we could put that together with some of this natural healing, some of our holistic doctors, the sky wouldn't even be the limit as far as what we could do as a whole or where we could go as a whole. I've never seen somebody practicing Islam that wasn't a Muslim. I've never seen someone practicing Islam that's not a Muslim. Ever. 39 years old, I've never seen it. If the Muslim brothers or sisters see you doing something, saying you part of their belief system, their culture, they are going to check you so fast that you ain't even gonna have a chance to really even respond, because it's gonna throw your ass off of balance, because that's how on point they are with checking it. If that was the case, you would see more people with their rugs out doing their prayers 5 to 6 times a day. You would see more people that do not practice Islam with, well, actually we do got more with turbans on, because it's like a style, but it's not the same kind of turban. Even the people who just wear turbans as a style and for a fashion statement know not to disrespect the culture, their religion. They know. So the turbans are made different. This all just stemmed from all this Easter stuff that was going on Sunday. I got a male associate of mine, was like, I was talking to him about swinging my daughter out to the pool, because he had his daughter out at the pool, and it was like one of the indoor pools that was open. I was like, what pool was you at? He was telling me the school that it was at. We got a middle school out here that has an indoor pool that's open year round. And he was telling me, and I was telling him, like, I'll probably take my daughter out there. Maybe you could bring your daughter. We could meet up and link out there, blah, 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 whatever. Me and him then did music together. He was a co-host on my Godcast, all this stuff. He like, yeah, spending some time with the family, going to my dad's. They having a cookout, going to do an Easter egg hunt and all that stuff. Everything was okay until he said Easter egg hunt. Spending time with your family, that's great. Having cookouts, it's relaxing. It's usually a more fun, playful environment. Cool. Soon as you throw Easter egg hunt in there, bro, I know you don't go to church. I know you don't practice Christianity. No, he is not a person with bad intentions. He is one of the beings that I would label as a robot, not a demon. He does not have bad intentions. He got a good heart, but he just follows suit. And I was just like, between him and the other person who texted me, just like, hey, I just wanted to tell you, I don't know if you celebrate or not, but how do you not know? And if you don't know, don't tell me happy Easter. I don't celebrate it. I'm not going to celebrate it. I don't want to hear about it. I forgot it was even Easter until I caught those messages. Me and my daughter was just living our life. Regular, normal day. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Look, we was vibing. That was not even crossing our mind. It was sunny outside. It was beautiful outside. We was not thinking about something that we do not practice. This is not to bash all my fellow Christian followers, but it is to bring some awareness that y'all gotta start standing solid somewhere. Because right now, to the world, y'all look extremely weak, and to the system, y'all are showing how extremely weak you are. Fortunately and unfortunately, that's where we stand right now. So I don't need no more of that hoobada-habada-ha down in the comments. Oh, what religion do you follow? Oh, you need Jesus. You don't even vibe with Jesus like that. He killed himself, got sacrificed for you, and what do? Allow demons to represent his name, his culture, and his belief system. It's mind-blowing to me. That's why I will never argue or go back and forth with people who solely want to push the book while all of these other things is transpiring and taking place out here. Y'all want to talk about, oh, what's that around your neck? Stones. You know, I could pick some rocks up. Right here, wrap these and put these around my neck, and y'all gonna say that's something too. It's nature. It's nature. That's what it is. It's nature. Only thing that's man-made is the copper. Copper. That's it. Crystals. Stones. It's natural. It's nature. This is more natural than the book. The book is man-made. The book was written by man. When I was raised in the church, I grew up on the Old Testament. As I got older, probably like 9, 10, probably somewhere between 7 and 11. Somewhere between 7 and 11, the New Testament came out. And I was so confused in the church why we now have 2 books. I was being taught my life growing up that this is the word of God. And then here comes the New Testament, and it's written more legible for me to be able to read. When I was learning how to read in the vibration that it was first placed in. And I'm pretty sure the Old Testament was a second book to the first book anyways, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not diving deep into that part. I could be wrong. Doesn't make a difference or not. I'm just saying the transitions between the two. If y'all want to put some real energy, some real strength behind your belief system, you have to put some action behind it. I would never tell my mini to follow anyone or any belief system that doesn't come with any actions. And I don't mean sitting here meditating, praying up. You know, that's a source. That's one piece of the recipe. But it also requires multiple ingredients for the recipe. We gotta tap in, we gotta tighten up. It's gonna be harder for us to all fight this battle together if the point guard, which are our Christians, are not doing their job. We got Islam doing their job. We done seen what happened to a bunch of Muslim cultures. Malcolm X was Muslim, didn't have a problem with taking action. You had, before Farrakhan, the ones that stood before him, he's kind of brainwashed now, so they allowed him to be in that position. Anybody else, they was knocking their heads off. He was one that they could puppeteer, so that's why they kept him in place. But everybody else that's been in that position, that's where most of the history is at. Even when you look at when the 9/11 thing happened, before 9/11 happened, all we heard about was Muslim, Islam, suicide bombers. And you never thought to think about how they are willing to sacrifice themselves in order to destroy the enemies. That's huge. That is huge. That is huge. To be willing to sacrifice yourself for your religion, for your belief system that you follow, your walk of life. That's huge. You know, much peace and love to all of them that followed their religion and they stood on it wholeheartedly. That's what we need more in today's society. Not everybody just allowing everybody to get a pass. You know, if you saying that your Jesus and your creator is almighty, all high, then you should probably be more afraid of their consequences than the system consequences. I'm just saying, I don't follow no religions, but I'm going to stand with the Creator by any means necessary, and I will always have more fear for those consequences than these consequences of this system. Because we all got to leave this planet. Nobody gets to stay. So while you're fighting to stay an extra day, whoop-de-doo, you still got to get up out of here. You still got to get up out of here. We can go on about this subject all day, you know. But it's no hard feelings. I know it's Christians all around the world, and it doesn't move the same way it does in the States. We are speaking of the States. If you're in a different part of the world, I'm pretty sure that religion has more control of the structure and what's happening than what we have going on over here right now. There should have been pushback from every Christian when they started forcing churches to marry LGBT communities. It should have been way more pushback. Since that's your belief system, clearly it's not your belief system, because it wasn't pushback everywhere. And salute to the pastors who was willing to take the fines because they was going to stand on their belief system, and they was more afraid of the consequences with source and creator than what the system had in place. We ain't gonna run it up too long though. Y'all tapping everything down below in the description. Peace and love to the kings and queens.